Hey guys, what is up? It is your boy T coming to you from 365 Horror Vlogs, the channel where we are going to attempt to watch every horror movie in existence. And today we are bringing you the brand new horror releases dropping between June 13th and June 20th. Before we get into the movies though, I want to remind you guys to please like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that good stuff. It's only going to help the channel, and I promise you this is going to be a good resource. So let's get right into the movies. The first movie we're going to get in today is Terrortrips. It is releasing on DVD and VOD on June 14th. Terrortrips is a movie where 6 friends start a business, providing guided tours to the shooting locations of the world's most famous horror films, until they find one spot where the horror is real. It's directed by Jeff Seaman. So upon watching the trailer for Terrortrips, it actually looks like a pretty cool movie. I do like the premise of it. They're kind of like it says in the trailer there, they're just trying to go from location to location of different horror movies. I get a real kind of hostile type feel. It doesn't look supernatural, but it still looks okay and something I'm gonna check out. Next, we have The Witch Part 2 coming to you on June 15th. Gotcha. So we don't get a synopsis with this movie because it is a foreign film. There's nothing really about it on IMDb, but I did check out the trailer and I did get a very Elfen-Lied, Parasite Eve kind of vibe, you know, where there's a character who's kind of maybe experimented on or tortured, and now they've escaped and everybody's trying to stop them and they're super tough. It looks pretty bloody, it looks pretty good, and definitely something to watch. Next, we have a little bit of a comedy. We have Gatlopp, Hell of a Game. This is coming to you on VOD on June 16th. A group of old friends reunites for a nostalgic evening of fun and games after a decade apart. After one too many, they decide to play a drinking game, but it's quickly revealed that this game comes with supernatural stakes. Mischief leads to mayhem, and the group realizes that if they can't come together to win the game by sunrise, they will be forced to play for eternity in hell. So upon watching this trailer, I've got to say one thing. Even though this is a comedy horror, and I don't always prefer comedy horrors, this actually looks like a really good movie. I found that the humor looked really funny in it. It actually had some really witty one-liners, and I get a very Jumanji feel from this one, obviously, except for game time, motherfucker, because, you know, it's just a very more an adult version of Jumanji instead of a kids movie where they're playing a drinking game. It actually looks really cool. Again, rolling the dice and landing on spaces that get dastardly things happening to the characters. It just actually looks pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing this one for sure.
It's game time, motherfucker.
We are going to move right along, but we are going to stay on June 16th, and we are going to talk about Mad God, an animated horror releasing on Shudder. A corroded diving bell descends amidst a ruined city, and the assassin emerges from it to explore a labyrinth of bizarre landscapes inhabited by freakish denizens. This one is directed by Phil Tippett. After watching the trailer, I gotta say that this movie looks pretty cool. The animation is super cool, and it looks like it's gonna have a really kind of gross feel because you get this kind of claymation where it's like pus and ooze is kind of squirting everywhere on it. I love the take that it's animated. This is so interesting. I don't see many things come around like this. I don't think it's going to scare me, but it does look pretty amazing. The animation, the way he even captures the characters and everything in this movie, it just looks really awesome, and I am going to check it out for sure. Next, we have a movie release coming to you, dropping in theaters. It is Abandon, and it's coming to you June 17th. After a young couple moves into a remote farmhouse with their infant son, the woman's struggles with postpartum psychosis begin to intensify as the house reveals secrets of its own. This movie is written by Eric Patterson and Jessica Scott, and it is starring Emma Roberts. After watching the trailer for Abandon, I'm actually quite excited for this movie. This is the first one of the week that looks like it actually is going to be a creeper. You have a kind of a supernatural element in a haunted house. Emma Roberts in the trailer, she's just like, I could take a little haunting. And from there, you know, those are kind of famous last words. Yeah, this looks like it actually is kind of a creeper. Again, theatrical release, so you got a big budget movie. It looks pretty good and something to check out.
There was a suicide, double homicide. I suppose you're out.
No, you know I don't mind a little haunting. We'll take it.
Now, we're going to stay on June 17th, but we're going to move away from the theater and we're going to talk about a VOD release, The Good Neighbor. The budding friendship between two very different neighbors takes a tragic turn when David runs over a young woman and causes her death. This movie is directed by Silja Clemens. It's starring Jonathan Rhys Meyers and Bruce Davidson. So after watching the trailer for Good Neighbor, this looks like a pretty good thriller. I'm getting, again, this is giving me extreme I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes, like almost to a T. Friends driving down a road, hit somebody, kills her, and then of course they have the don't tell, I'll get years kind of idea. So, you know, it's kind of follows that common trope. But I do like it that it looks like over time, one of the dudes who does it, he falls in love with the victim's sister, and so there's like a whole element of kind of like a, I don't know, stalkery. It's very interesting that, you know, the neighbor stalks him because he's falling in love and may give up the plot. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't look like something that's going to be at the top of my watch list, but it does look like a decent watch for sure.
Do you know how many years you'll get for a hit and run? Do you want to go to prison here?
Last but not least, we are going to stay on June 17th for our last movie, and that is the horror thriller Mid-Century, coming to you on VOD.
Help me put an end to him.
A husband and wife's weekend in a mid-century modern vacation rental turns deadly when the husband discovers the owner is a psychopath, and with a backyard of buried secrets and designs on his wife. This is directed by Sonia O'Hara, and it is starring Stephen Lang and Shane West. After watching the trailer for Mid-Century, it looks pretty good. It looks like it has a decent budget behind it. The cinematography and everything looks fine. There's nothing about that. It looks like it follows kind of the haunted house trope mixed with a little bit of the, you know, there was a crime and now they're kind of trying to solve it from beyond the grave, which does mean some supernatural thrills. So that does interest me because, again, those are the kinds of things that I actually find scary and creepy. But it just doesn't look like anything extremely gripping in this movie. It looks okay. The murders, I don't know, from what they showed on screen, it looks like it could have some good little creep factor to it. So yeah, it's something that I'm going to check out, but definitely not a pick of the week. And that is Mid-Century.
I'm afraid we're going to spoil this dress.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for another one of these horror movie release videos. A lot of good movies coming out this week, so I'm pretty excited. A lot of stuff to watch. If I had to make some picks this week, I think one of them would definitely be Mad God, just because it looks so interesting. I'm just interested to see. It looks like something that could be super gross because, you know, they could show a lot of pus or what looks like pus because, again, it's animation. But that looks really cool. Another movie that I really want to check out, believe it or not, even though it is a comedy, is Gatlopp, Game from Hell. I believe it's called. Let me just have a quick look here. Yes, Gatlopp. Oh, Gatlopp, Hell of a Game. That's coming out on June 16th. That actually looks funny and really good. I can't wait to see that one. And the last movie that I would want to see, probably just based on the premise, is Terrortrips. It looks kind of interesting. I like how they're going to go to all these horror locations. That means you could have plenty of different haunts and stuff like that. I don't know. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have the supernatural appeal, so I don't know how much it's going to scare me, but those are the movies I'm going to go with this week. So thanks for joining. Again, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this content. Again, we have plenty more stuff coming for you. So again, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
It's game time, muff.